Chosen one. This moment is not random, it is divine alignment. Heaven itself has guided you here because a supernatural shift is unfolding in your life. You are standing at the threshold of a divine wealth transfer where everything that was delayed will be released. The waiting, the isolation, the silence, it was all preparation for this very hour. The Spirit of God says in Deuteronomy 8:18, I give you power to get wealth. Anointed one, that power is awakening within you now. This is not just another message, it is your prophetic confirmation. Stay still, for heaven is about to move, recognizing the call hidden in your solitude. Chosen one, your singleness was never a mistake. It is not rejection, it is divine redirection. Heaven has been working behind the curtain of your life, aligning moments, shaping character, and guarding your heart from connections that could have dimmed your light. Every season of waiting has been sacred. Every quiet night, every unanswered prayer has carried purpose. You may not see it yet, but your solitude is not a void, it is a womb. God has been forming something powerful in the silence. You are not being denied love, you are being developed for purpose. When God sets someone apart, He doesn't isolate them to punish them, He separates them to protect the oil they carry. From your earliest days, you've known you were different. Even as a child, you felt something stirring in you, a hunger for truth, a pull towards something beyond ordinary life. You could never settle where others found comfort because you were called to build what others could not see. That calling has cost you friendships, relationships, and moments of belonging. But heaven saw every tear, and none were wasted. Every relationship that ended on time. Every person who walked away was released by divine instruction. You may have thought you lost something, but in truth, you were being delivered. God saw what you could not, attachments that would have delayed your assignment, people who would have loved your potential but never supported your purpose. You are chosen, and for that reason you could not be tied to what wasn't aligned. There's a reason certain doors shut without warning. There's a reason people who once burned brightly in your life faded to shadows. That wasn't failure, it was intervention. God will allow connection for a season, but when that connection threatens your mission, heaven will step in. The hand that closes the door is the same hand preparing the gate of destiny. Chosen one. You've been hidden for a reason. You've felt invisible, overlooked, forgotten, but the truth is, you've been veiled. God didn't want your light to be exposed before it was ready. Not everyone deserves access to the garden where you are growing. What you carry is rare, and the rare must be refined in private. This solitude has been a classroom. It's where you've learned to hear His voice without noise, to feel His presence without distraction, to discern truth from imitation. Your spirit is being trained to recognize alignment over attraction. God is shaping your discernment so that when the right person comes, you'll know not by emotion, but by peace. I understand this deeply because I've lived it. There were nights I thought God forgot me when silence felt like rejection, but I later realized He was not keeping me single. He was keeping me safe. When I surrendered, everything shifted. The loneliness became revelation. The stillness became strength. I discovered that what I thought was empty was actually holy ground. Chosen one, you're not behind schedule. You are right where divine timing needs you. Every delay, every long pause is forming patience, maturity, and power within you. God's timing is not slow, it's strategic. The version of you He's building in this season will not settle for surface love. You will only recognize covenant love, the kind born of purpose, not preference. So do not despise your solitude. It is not wasted time, it is preparation. You are being purified for partnership, refined for influence, and strengthened for the weight of your destiny. When the time comes, you won't attract from emptiness, you'll attract from overflow. You won't seek completion, you'll bring wholeness. The same God who kept you waiting is the same God preparing what you've been praying for. And when He releases it, you'll look back and say, every delay was divine. Because chosen one, your singleness was never about lack, it was about legacy. Spiritual protection and energy preservation, chosen one. One of the deepest truths you must understand in this sacred season is this: God has kept you single, not to withhold love, but to protect the light inside you. You are not an ordinary soul. You carry an anointing that can shift rooms, heal hearts, and awaken destinies. And because of that, not everyone can be granted access to your spirit. Every relationship you enter into is not just emotional, it is spiritual exchange. Every conversation, every embrace, every shared moment transfers energy. When you are a vessel filled with divine fire, the wrong connection can drain that flame faster than you realize. Some of the exhaustion you felt after certain relationships wasn't emotional fatigue, it was spiritual leakage. God knows this. That's why He has placed a divine shield around you, a covering of grace that filters who comes near you. It may have looked like rejection, but it was actually redirection. The Spirit of God has blocked people who would have dimmed your fire, even if they looked good, sounded right, or came dressed in sincerity. I remember seasons in my own life when relationships ended abruptly without reason. I would pray for answers and hear only silence. But later, when the dust settled, I saw the truth. Those connections weren't just unhealthy, they were dangerous to my purpose. God saw the motives I couldn't see, the spiritual battles I wasn't yet ready to fight. He removed them not because I was unworthy, but because I was too valuable. Chosen one, you must realize that your energy is sacred currency in the kingdom. The enemy knows he cannot destroy you directly, so he tries to drain you through distractions, people who demand your presence, but never feed your soul, relationships that keep you busy, but never make you better. God's answer: isolation. Not to punish you, but to preserve you. You may have felt hidden, as if you became invisible to potential partners. But that invisibility is divine camouflage. Heaven has hidden you from those who would misuse your heart. The right one will see you in the spirit, not just in the flesh. Until then, God keeps you in a secret place, unseen, untouched, unspoiled. Some of you have wondered why promising relationships never moved forward, why just as things began to flourish, they fell apart. It's because heaven posted angels at the gates of your destiny, and no one can pass through without clearance. Every not yet was an angel standing guard, whispering, "This one is not approved." That frustration you felt when something didn't work out was actually spiritual rescue. You cried over people who were never meant to walk into your next chapter. You grieved losses that were really deliverances. Anointed one, every time you attempted to settle, God raised a barrier. Every time you tried to open your heart prematurely, He closed the door for you, because He knows the cost of your calling. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. The purity of your purpose depends on the protection of your peace. Look back and notice the pattern, the moments you felt drained around certain people, the confusion that followed certain encounters, the heaviness that lingered after certain conversations. That wasn't coincidence. That was spiritual warfare. The enemy sends imitation love to weaken true light. But God always intercepts it in time. This is why He has called you to guard your energy. You are learning discernment, the ability to sense when something looks good but feels wrong, when someone's words sound holy but their spirit stirs unrest. You are being trained to detect spiritual dissonance before it destroys peace. Don't resent this divine isolation. It's your armor. Every unreturned message, every ghosted relationship, every unanswered prayer in love, it all formed a wall of protection between your heart and corruption. Chosen one. God has not forgotten you. He's protecting the treasure within you until the right one, the ordained one, comes with a key forged in heaven. When that person arrives, you won't have to fight for peace. Their presence will echo the stillness of God. Until then, honor this season. Protect your mind, your emotions, your body, and your spirit. Guard what God is guarding, because when your time comes, your love will not drain you, it will fuel you. And you will finally see that every no was heaven's way of saying, not this one, I'm saving you for greater. Refining your spirit and building divine character. Chosen one, what you call waiting. Heaven calls refinement. This season of singleness is not about withholding blessings, it's about strengthening the vessel that will carry them. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. God is shaping your character, purifying your motives, and deepening your spiritual roots so that when the next chapter unfolds, nothing will be able to shake what He's building in you. Every great calling demands deep refinement. Before David became king, he was tested in the quiet fields. Before Moses led his people, he was shaped in the wilderness. Before Jesus stepped into public ministry, he spent 40 days in solitude. Their silence was not weakness, it was preparation. And chosen one, you are walking through that same divine process. You may not understand why you've been stripped of distractions, why relationships fell away, or why the people who once filled your world suddenly disappeared. But God is using the fire of isolation to burn away everything that cannot stand in your next season. The pressure you feel right now isn't punishment, it's purification. In this sacred solitude, He's teaching you who you are, without titles, without validation, without applause. He's revealing your strength, exposing your blind spots, and healing your wounds. You've been asking God for a partner, but He's saying, let me make you whole first. Because He doesn't want you entering covenant carrying broken pieces from the past. There are things He's burning out of you right now: impatience, self-doubt, pride, insecurity. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Refinement always is. It stretches your soul, confronts your fears, and demands surrender. But in the fire, impurities rise to the surface, not so God can condemn you, but so He can cleanse you. I remember walking through my own refining season when I felt God tearing me away from everything familiar. At the time it felt cruel. I couldn't see the purpose in the pain. But later I realized He wasn't taking from me, He was making room for what was coming. Every time He broke something open, it made space for a deeper level of peace, clarity, and authority. Anointed one, that's what's happening in your life right now. The things you've lost were never meant to last. The pruning was preparation. God is breaking the old patterns that once defined you, the need to please, the craving for validation, the tendency to chase love instead of embodying it. You are learning that your worth is not determined by who chooses you, but by the one who created you. This is also the season where God strengthens your emotional maturity. You are learning not to react out of pain, but to respond from wisdom. You are learning to be patient with divine timing, to find peace in the process, and to trust that the fire will not consume you, it will refine you. God is also raising your standards, not in arrogance, but in alignment. When you realize who you are, you can no longer entertain what is beneath your calling. you start to recognize the difference between temporary affection and divine assignment. The counterfeit begins to lose its appeal because your spirit only craves what is authentic, what is holy. Chosen one, do not resist the refining. Let it do its work. Let God strip away what cannot go with you. He's not trying to make you perfect, He's making you pure. Because purity isn't about perfection, it's about purpose. It's about removing everything that weakens your spiritual authority so you can walk in the fullness of your calling without compromise. And when this refining is complete, you won't just attract love, you'll sustain it. You won't just pray for blessings, you'll carry them without breaking under their weight. The person God is forming in this fire will be able to hold influence, wealth, and relationship with humility and grace. Remember this, chosen one: the greater the assignment, the deeper the fire. God has invested too much in you to let you crumble under the weight of unprepared blessings. One day soon, you will thank Him for every lonely night, every delayed answer, every painful pruning, because you'll see that He wasn't breaking you down, He was building you up. So lean into the fire, embrace the heat, let it mold you. Because when you emerge from this season, you will not only carry light, you will become it. Breaking generational cycles and restoring divine order. Chosen one. There's another reason heaven has kept you single for this long, because you were chosen to break what has broken others. You are the divine interruption in your bloodline. God has raised you to end cycles that have repeated for generations, cycles of betrayal, dishonor, and emotional pain that passed from parent to child like invisible inheritance. You may not realize it yet, but your single season is spiritual surgery. Heaven is performing deep healing, not just for you, but for everyone who will come after you. God didn't keep you single to isolate you. He kept you single to heal through you. Look back for a moment. You've probably noticed patterns in your family relationships that crumbled under pressure, marriages that lacked peace, love that was conditional, loyalty that came with control. These weren't just bad choices, they were spiritual strongholds repeating through generations because no one stopped to confront them. Until the Lord chose you to be the breaker, the one who says, "It ends here." And that kind of calling requires focus. It demands a season without distractions. Because breaking a generational curse isn't something you can do halfway. You must face the pain, understand the pattern, and replace it with God's truth. When others were falling in love, you were falling into warfare. While they were building relationships, you were building altars. You prayed when no one else prayed. You fasted when others ignored the call. And heaven took notice. That's why your path looks harder, because you're carrying more than your own destiny. You're carrying a legacy. Anointed one. This is why relationships haven't worked in the past. God wouldn't let you attach yourself to anyone who still carries the same wounds you were born to heal. You couldn't marry into what you were sent to break. The people who seemed good weren't always aligned. They might have looked like blessings, but hidden in them were seeds of the very pain you're being freed from. Sometimes what God calls protection looks like rejection. When He removes someone you love, it feels like loss, but it's actually liberation. Because if you had stayed connected to that person, you might have repeated the very story God sent you to rewrite. And make no mistake, rewriting a family story is heavy work. It's spiritual labor. You're carrying the weight of ancestors who prayed for freedom but never lived to see it. You're standing in the gap for children who haven't even been born yet. And every time you choose purity over pressure, peace over performance, obedience over impulse, heaven records it as victory. I know this kind of assignment can feel lonely. You might look at others and wonder why their journey seems easier. But chosen one ease has never birthed transformation. Fire does. You are walking through fire not to destroy you, but to destroy the chains around your bloodline. You are birthing freedom in the spirit realm, a kind of freedom that will ripple through generations. God is also using this time to teach you what love really is. Maybe you grew up seeing love that hurt, love that manipulated, love that silenced. But the love God is preparing for you will be different. It will be safe, holy, and purposeful. You will not have to chase it, beg for it, or compromise for it. You will recognize it by its peace. Chosen one, you are breaking patterns of survival and replacing them with patterns of abundance. You are ending the lie that says love must hurt and restoring the truth that love must heal. That's why you've been set apart. God could not risk you contaminating your destiny with an old pattern, so don't despise the solitude. It's not a prison, it's a sanctuary. In this space, you are unlearning the false love of your past and relearning divine covenant. You are healing wounds that others ignored. You are forgiving offenses that weren't even yours. You are preparing your heart to carry a new legacy, one built on truth, purity, and peace. And when your season shifts, when God finally releases you into divine partnership, your love will not be ordinary, it will be redemptive. Your union will stand as proof that God restores what generations lost. It will testify that curses can break, families can heal, and love can be holy again. Chosen one. That's why you're still single, because heaven is building a foundation through you that will outlast time itself. Assignments that require solitude. Chosen one. Many people look at your life and see loneliness, but heaven looks at your life and sees assignment. You are not alone because you are unloved. You are alone because God is birthing something in you that requires stillness, separation, and focus. The kind of work heaven is doing through you cannot be completed in noise. It must be forged in silence. You've probably noticed that when you try to engage socially or step into relationships that aren't meant for you, something inside begins to feel off. You lose peace, your energy drops, your spirit feels heavy. That's because God has you in a sacred isolation period. He's calling you into the secret place, not to punish you, but to prepare you. There are assignments on your life, divine blueprints written before you were born, that can only be revealed in solitude. These are not small tasks. They are generational callings, ministries, movements, creative works, and ideas meant to shift destinies. To carry them, you must first learn to walk alone with God. Every prophet, every chosen vessel in history went through this stage. Moses met God alone in the wilderness. Elijah heard his voice not in the wind or fire, but in the still small whisper. Even Jesus withdrew to lonely places to pray before every breakthrough. Solitude isn't the absence of connection, it's the presence of divine conversation. In your quiet season, heaven is downloading strategy. You're being taught obedience, resilience, and sensitivity to God's voice. You are learning to depend on divine instruction, not human approval. That's why certain people have drifted away. Their voices would have clouded your hearing. God has cleared the room so He can speak without interruption. I remember my own wilderness years, the days when silence felt endless. I wanted companionship, guidance, validation. But God would only say, "Be still." It wasn't until I obeyed that I realized He wasn't withholding connection, He was strengthening communion. I started to hear Him in new ways, through dreams, through divine nudges, through peace that made no sense. And I learned that solitude isn't emptiness, it's intimacy. Anointed one, that's what God is doing in you. He's tuning your spirit like an instrument, refining your hearing so you can recognize His frequency. Because when your kingdom partner arrives, when doors begin to open and the world starts to pull at you, you'll need to discern his voice quickly. This is the training ground for that. Right now, God may be giving you creative ideas, visions, or even burdens for others. These are not random thoughts, they're assignments. Maybe he's calling you to start something, a ministry, a business, a book, a message. But understand this, every divine assignment has a window of time. If you were distracted by romance right now, you might miss that window. So he shields you. Your solitude is not wasted time. It's acceleration in disguise. Every prayer you pray in private is building momentum in the spirit realm. Every time you choose obedience over loneliness, heaven moves something forward for you. God is not asking you to endure this isolation forever. He's asking you to complete the assignment. Chosen one, this season is your construction phase. You're not waiting for life to begin. You're building the foundation that everything else will rest upon. You're mastering your gifts, stewarding your time, and discovering your true strength. When the time comes and the person God has for you enters your life, you will not meet them empty-handed. You'll meet them in motion, already walking in purpose. And here's the divine paradox. When you stop searching for connection and start fulfilling your mission, that's when God sends the one who matches your pace. Because real love doesn't distract you from purpose, it aligns with it. So embrace the quiet, anointed one. Heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is instructing you. Every hour spent alone with God now will save you years of confusion later. Every lesson you learn in solitude will become wisdom you share in partnership. When this season ends, and it will, you'll look back and realize that what you thought was isolation was actually incubation, and what you thought was waiting was becoming. Divine timing and the partner prepared for you, chosen one. One of the most powerful revelations you'll ever receive is this: God's timing is not delay, it's design. Heaven does not operate by human clocks. What feels slow to you is strategic to God. You are not waiting because something went wrong. You are waiting because something extraordinary is being arranged. A partnership that aligns not just with your heart, but with your calling. Your singleness has been a setup for divine synchronization. Heaven has been preparing two stories, yours and your future partners, like two rivers that will one day merge into one unstoppable flow. But if either river is still clogged with debris, still unfinished in its course, their meeting would cause more chaos than harmony. So God in His mercy waits until both are ready. You've been asking, why not now, Lord? And heaven answers, because now would destroy what later will fulfill. The right person at the wrong time is still the wrong person. The wrong season can sabotage the right promise. This is why God's delays are always drenched in love. He would rather make you wait than watch you lose what He destined you to have. Anointed one, while you've been developing faith, your future partner has been developing alignment. While you've been healing, they've been shedding their own wounds. While you've been learning to walk in obedience, they've been learning to lead with humility. You are not the only one in preparation. Heaven is shaping both of you, molding two hearts into one divine rhythm. When the time comes, your spirits will recognize each other. You won't have to question or chase or convince. There will be peace, a stillness that confirms heaven's hand. You'll understand that this is not just love. This is assignment. Because when God sends someone, they don't just love your personality, they love your purpose. And when divine timing arrives, it will not come with confusion or fear. It will come with confirmation. Conversations will flow naturally. Doors will open effortlessly. You won't have to force anything. The connection will fit your spirit, the way a key fits a lock that's been waiting for years to be opened. I remember the first time God showed me that timing is not punishment, but protection. Years ago, I begged him to let me move faster, to step into love, into ministry, into destiny. I was tired of waiting, but every time I pushed, something fell apart. Every time I rushed, peace vanished. It wasn't until later, when I finally surrendered, that I understood. The things I had been praying for were not denied, they were delayed for my development. When God finally released what I asked for, I was ready to carry it. Chosen. One divine timing is not about you getting what you want, it's about you becoming who you must be. Heaven cannot give you a promise that your character cannot sustain. So God works in silence behind the scenes, aligning your growth with your partner's growth, your purpose with their purpose, your maturity with their maturity. You might not see it, but your delay is divine choreography. Right now, things are moving in the unseen. God is shifting hearts, arranging encounters, clearing obstacles, and setting the stage for your meeting. Everything, every heartbreak, every lesson, every moment of stillness is positioning you for perfect convergence. And when it happens, you will know. The signs will not be small. You'll feel divine peace where anxiety used to live. You'll recognize God's fingerprints in the timing, in the words, in the way your spirits align. Until then, don't try to manufacture destiny. Don't chase what God hasn't sent. Stay close to Him. Keep your spirit ready. Pray for your future partner, not out of desperation, but out of intercession. Ask God to strengthen them, protect them, and prepare them for the mission you'll share. Remember, you are not waiting for a person, you are waiting for a season. And when that season arrives, everything will make sense. The tears, the silence, the waiting, all of it will reveal its purpose. When heaven finally says now, you'll realize God was never withholding love, He was perfecting it. And you'll see that every lonely night, every unanswered prayer, every season of stillness was heaven's way of saying, I'm saving you for something sacred. Chosen one, the time is coming. Be still, stay faithful, and keep building. Because when it happens, it will not just be love, it will be legacy. How to steward your single season, chosen one. Your singleness is not a pause, it's preparation. God has entrusted you with this sacred chapter, and how you handle it will determine the quality of what comes next. Too many people waste this season wishing it away, but not you. Heaven is calling you to steward it with wisdom, purpose, and discipline. This is your training ground, the time where God shapes not only your heart, but your habits, your priorities, and your spirit. The first way to steward this season is by deepening your relationship with God. You've asked for a partner who can walk with you in faith, but before that, you must first learn to walk with Him. Use this time to strengthen your prayer life, to dwell in His presence without distraction. The stillness that once felt like loneliness will become the secret place where you hear His voice most clearly. You're not waiting for love. You're walking toward divine intimacy. Spend more time in the Word, not out of routine, but out of hunger. Let the Scriptures wash away fear and replace it with vision. When you learn to hear God alone, you'll never need to chase validation from anyone else again. That's the foundation of your peace, knowing that your worth was sealed in heaven long before anyone on earth could affirm it. The second key is to master your purpose. This is your season of discovery. What has God placed in your hands? What gifts, what passions, what callings has He buried within you? You're not meant to sit and wait. You're meant to build. Write the book, start the project, begin the business, serve in your community, or launch that ministry. He keeps pressing on your heart. When you walk in purpose, loneliness loses its grip. You stop longing for partnership to fill the void because your spirit is already full. And when your kingdom partner arrives, they'll meet you in motion, two whole souls running toward God and finding each other on the way. Another way to steward this season is through healing. God has given you the gift of time so that you can process, release, and restore what's been wounded. Too many hearts rush into love with open scars. But you, chosen one, are being called to heal before you touch another's heart. Forgive those who hurt you, release those who left you, bless those who betrayed you. Healing doesn't erase the past, it redeems it. Take this time also to practice purity in body, mind, and spirit. This isn't about rules, it's about preservation. You are a vessel of divine energy, and what you consume through what you watch, listen to, or engage with either fuels or depletes that energy. Guard your heart from people, habits, and influences that pollute your peace. Purity is not about restriction, it's about power. It's how you protect the oil God has entrusted to you. Financial stewardship is another divine assignment. God cannot release abundance to someone who hasn't learned to manage what they already have. Learn to budget, to save, to give. This is your season to build discipline because your future household will depend on it. You're not just preparing for a wedding, you're preparing for a legacy. And don't forget community. Though you are single, you are not meant to be isolated from purpose-driven people. Surround yourself with those who sharpen your faith and speak life into your dreams. Find spiritual mentors who hold you accountable. Every great destiny requires divine counsel. Lastly, practice contentment. True contentment is not giving up on your desire for love. It's learning to find joy where you are. When you are content in God, you no longer chase people. You attract peace. You stop settling out of fear and you start living out of fullness. I've learned this personally. There was a time I resented my singleness, thinking God had forgotten me. But when I shifted my focus, when I stopped asking, when will someone come, and started asking, what should I build while I wait, everything changed. Purpose replaced pain. Clarity replaced confusion. Chosen one. This is not a wasted chapter. It's the foundation for everything that follows. Steward it with diligence, and heaven will multiply your harvest. When the time comes and your kingdom partner appears, they will find you whole, not waiting, but walking. And that's the kind of person God trusts with destiny. So use this season well. Pour into your relationship with God, your gifts, your healing, your finances, and your peace. The more you pour into yourself now, the more you'll have to pour into your future. And one day soon you'll look back and realize this single season was never about waiting, it was about becoming. The prophetic shift and your appointed time, chosen one. You've walked through fire, refinement, and solitude, but hear this now, your waiting has not been in vain. The atmosphere around your life is shifting. Heaven is positioning you for divine release. Every tear, every prayer, every night you questioned your purpose was not wasted. You are standing at the threshold of fulfillment. God is saying to you, I have seen your faithfulness in private, and now I will reward you in public. The season that once felt endless is coming into divine conclusion. You are not being forgotten, you are being revealed. The same hand that kept you hidden will soon present you not as someone incomplete, but as someone prepared. In the Spirit, there is movement. Doors are unlocking that no man could open. Paths that once seemed blocked are now clearing with supernatural ease. This is not coincidence, it's alignment. Heaven has synchronized your life with divine timing. You are entering a season where what was withheld will suddenly be released. Relationships, opportunities, and blessings that match your maturity, not your impatience. I sense this prophetically for you. Anointed one, the weight of loneliness is lifting. You are about to step into the manifestation of what God has been building within you all along a season of divine partnership and kingdom expansion. The one who is meant for you is not just being sent to love you, they are being sent to build with you. But before this shift fully manifests, God wants you to understand something deep. You were never waiting on a partner, you were waiting on permission. Heaven had to finish its work in you. Every lesson, every delay, every divine no was heaven's way of preparing you to hold the promise without losing the purity that got you there. Think of Joseph. He was called to rule long before he ever saw a throne. His delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. He had to learn integrity in a prison before he could handle influence in a palace. You too have been in that refining place, learning endurance, mastering discernment, and developing spiritual strength. Now your season of release is near. Anointed one, as this new chapter unfolds, God is asking you to stay anchored in Him. Do not rush. Do not grasp. Let the blessings find you in obedience, not in striving. Divine promises never require manipulation. They manifest through alignment. The same God who orchestrated your waiting will orchestrate your meeting. And when it happens, you will not question it. You will know. Peace will confirm it. Your spirit will rest. The person God has for you will not distract you from your calling. They will activate it. Together you will move in purpose, building something eternal, a partnership that glorifies God and multiplies what He's placed in your hands. This is also the moment to guard your focus. Before manifestation comes, distraction often increases. The enemy will try to send counterfeits, people who resemble the promise but lack the presence. Stay alert. You've been trained for this. You know the difference between connection that drains and covenant that sustains. Let your discernment, not your emotions, guide your choices. Chosen one, your patience has been a prophecy. Every time you waited with faith, you prophesied your own breakthrough. Every day you chose obedience over compromise, you moved closer to divine fulfillment. You may not have realized it, but heaven was watching. Angels were recording every act of trust, every whispered prayer, every moment you refused to settle. Now that faith is bearing fruit, this is your appointed time. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. A shift is happening even as you listen to these words. The waiting that once felt endless is transforming into clarity. The isolation that once felt like loss is being revealed as divine protection. So stand firm, anointed one. Lift your head. Breathe. You are stepping out of preparation and into fulfillment. The same God who called you into this season will now call you out of it. And when you look back, you'll understand this journey was never about singleness. It was about becoming the vessel that heaven could trust with greatness. Your story isn't paused, it's prophetic. And now it's about to unfold in glory. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Heaven has not forgotten you. Every silent night, every unanswered question, every season of solitude was divine architecture. You have been hidden not to be overlooked, but to be anointed in secret. And now the shift has begun. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the appointed time when destiny begins to unfold and what was once delayed is now being delivered. The same God who guarded your heart is now preparing to reward your faith. The spiritual transfer has already started. Peace is replacing pressure. Clarity is replacing confusion. You are stepping into divine alignment where timing, purpose, and promise finally meet. Anointed one, remain faithful. Keep your spirit anchored in gratitude and your eyes fixed on heaven's direction. Every step from this moment forward is guided, blessed, and saturated in favor. You are not waiting anymore, you are walking into manifestation. May the Lord fill you with divine confidence, renew your strength, and release the grace for everything that's about to unfold. May your next chapter overflow with love that restores purpose, that multiplies, and peace that cannot be shaken. If this message spoke to your spirit, declare it in the comments. It's my appointed time. Share this word so another chosen one may find their confirmation. Stay aligned, stay anointed, and remember, heaven's clock is never late. Your breakthrough is already in motion.